Don't leave. Don't leave. Stop it.
Steph and I were talking about how fucking weird teeth are, aren't they?
Amari's been pulling her lip up just to show me how fucking gross the gums are with
Literally, they're
underneath.
gross. Like everybody.
It's
solid 7, maybe a 6, easily a 2.
Too much. You guys have to watch this video. You have to watch it.
That it gets stuck for the thumbnail. I love choosing the thumbnails. That is my favorite. And the one where I was like, it literally chose it as a thumbnail. I was like, yes. Just in case. Just to give it a pause for it to be like, that's the one.
Oh my God. Anyways, welcome back, everybody, to episode 40. Fucking 40. 40. That's wild. And this is airing right by Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, which is also wild. How is it almost Christmas of, well, by the time this comes out, how is it Christmas of 2021?
Literally. How did we get here?
A year ago.
Beats the fuck out of me.
I mean, fucking seriously though. Like there was times where I felt like it was dragging, and then I'm like, yes, but it's mid-November now. What happened?
I will say this. I just said yes to that. Maybe it's just to validate you, but I felt like this year legit flew. Like, I don't feel like there was a moment where I was like, oh, this year's just taking forever. I swear to God, I feel like I was like, oh, I'm so excited for 4th of July. And I was like, whoa, how are we
making pie? What's happening?
I mean, pumpkin. How did we get here? Like, literally. Oh, it's wild. It's wild.
So this episode was requested by one of our listeners, Jackie, who we adore. She's amazing. All of you guys are amazing.
So fucking cute.
Every single one of you is amazing.
Yes.
However, she wanted to talk about how to say no without guilt and the idea of being a people pleaser. So raise your hand, everybody, or anybody, if you've ever felt like you've been a people pleaser. Right? I feel like that's it. Mari's raising all of her limbs. I feel that that is an ingrained behavior that we're taught growing up, right? If we have a parent or parents who are people pleasers, it's automatic because that's what we've seen growing up. So to us, that is normal.
Yeah.
If you were ever told, well, you need to do this, otherwise so-and-so is going to be upset, that's an ingrained thing. So then every time you go to make a decision, you're thinking about other people and not yourself. You know what I'm not here for?
No.
That.
Any part of it.
I did that for way too fucking long of my life. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to be a martyr and sacrifice myself to make another person comfortable or happy when it's making me uncomfortable or whatever emotion it's causing me to feel in that moment. I won't do that anymore.
No.
However, it gets tricky at times when it comes to family, right? And there's guilt associated with having boundaries, or there's shame associated with your boundaries, because then you get in this spiral of, am I being like bitchy? Am I wrong for this? Should I be doing this? Right. And you start all these cognitive errors and you're shitting all over yourself. For what? For what? Whose expectations are you trying to meet? Are they your own? Or are they somebody else's that, like Mari has said, you didn't agree upon? If you didn't agree to those expectations, you don't have to do them. Right? There's nothing that says, there's no fucking manual that says you need to follow X, Y, Z or else. That's not how that works.
Not how it works at all. And like when you discussed talking about this topic at first, I was like, yeah, I didn't agree to those expectations. Done. Like, that's the episode.
Yes.
If we are not having a conversation about what is going to happen in this relationship, in this situation, with whatever is going on, I didn't agree to that. We didn't talk about that. So I am not going to pick up emotions that aren't mine to stomach. If somebody has a thought and or a feeling about me and or my behaviors, I can't change that. They can come to me and have a discussion where we can process through, my thought process behind why I did what I did or why I'm doing what I'm doing. But until that happens, I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, what if they think this? Or what if they think this? That is going to suck so much of your energy away from yourself. And being able to validate and appreciate and affirm your thoughts and feelings first and foremost, because again, like I said this till I'm blue in the face, I will say it until I die. You have to come first. You do not have the ability to help these other people if you're not helping yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
The decision has to be for you. And so there are so many facets of our life, right, where these expectations can show up. It can show up with family members. It can show up with kids. It can show up with work. It can show up with friends. It can show up with just everyday general public.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't owe anybody an explanation as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. If, caveat here, if I am doing it in sound mind, wise mind of I am validating my emotions, but I am also attempting to see it from somebody else's point of view and trying to come to this middle ground, this conclusion, right?
Mm-hmm.
By no means am I making this a my way or the highway sentiment. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I was preparing for one of the gang guidance sessions that will have already happened by the time this airs, but it was about familial boundaries and the holidays, right? And one of the statements that I found that I tweaked a little bit, obviously to like my liking, but basically states every time you go against your boundaries, you are betraying yourself to take the responsibility of other people's feelings.
Yes.
I'm not here for that. Because you know what happens? You then lose the ability to trust yourself and your decision-making abilities. And you're constantly looking to other people for validation of like, should I do this? Is this the right thing? What would you do? Here's the thing. You can ask for that feedback, but when it comes to making the decision, you fucking make that decision for you.
I was getting my notebook out because I would start writing things down so I don't lose my fucking train of thought. But that goes back to what podcast? Step page, turning pages. Now I think. I feel like it was I think it was our judgment podcast. And I think that's why there's so much, like when Stephanie kept talking about this episode, I was like, yeah, judgment. She was like, no, Mari, expectations that are set by maybe family members that you don't necessarily agree with, or like learning how to say no without feeling guilty. And I was like, judgments. And like, she was like, yeah, sure, judgments. But this is why it kept coming back to me, because the judgment podcast that we did, I listened to that TED Talk with the British woman, and she was talking about that if we are putting our I always use the example of like putting our eggs in these baskets, right? But if we are going to a friend and asking for their thought or opinion on something, we are living and dying by that person's judgment of us, that criticism that they're giving back to us. And we are learning to not trust ourselves. And this all goes back to your looping it to the 3 states of mind. If you are a subscriber, you have that PS episode of what I'm talking about. So subscribe so you can figure this out. You can put it all together. So it goes back to the 3 states of mind, and that wise mind, that additive is your intuition. And so by these leading to these other people and looking for their judgments or looking for their affirmations or validations, you are silencing that intuition, which is your gut feeling, that knowing. And the more that gets silenced, the harder it is to really live authentically for you. Then we're living for everybody else. And that is such a huge issue.
It can even come down to doing things that make you happy that other people don't agree with. Okay, I don't need you to agree with me. I'm doing it because it makes me happy.
Yes.
When you think, Mar, about people pleasing.
Mar,
I'm a pirate. Arr.
I totally went Midwestern, but yeah, sure, pirate. All right.
I'm a Midwestern pirate. That makes sense.
I made a casserole. Come on board.
Captain Cheesebeard here.
Hi-ho, it's Cheesebeard. We don't have gold. We just have a cheese board if you would like some. Like, what the fuck? Anyways. Yes.
Oh my God.
What were you going to ask me? I hope you remember.
I do. What do you think are some of the underlying emotions? Okay, let me figure out how to word this question.
Shame.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. So
shame.
The underlying emotions to being a people pleaser, I would say shame and guilt. And also the sense of needing validation.
Shame. That's it. Shame. Shame is the birthplace of perfectionism, and perfectionistic thinking is wanting to please everybody else and do things right and or perfect so we can avoid that feeling of being unlovable, or that we can make ourselves as worthy and as whole as possible in other people's minds or opinions. Here's the thing. You are worthy. You are enough. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck what you have to offer to somebody. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you don't have 2 pennies to rub together. It doesn't matter. You're enough. You are a human being on this planet. You are worthy. What you provide or can do or can show up for somebody does not make you worth enough for that person. And hear me when I say this, if that is how that person is viewing this situation, those are not your fucking people. Mm-hmm. Or, let me take a step back, or they're operating in their emotional mind and maybe feel helpless or worried or concerned, or they don't know how to navigate this situation. So that's being projected onto you. You don't have to have the answers either.
Let me ask you this. Why don't you feel like guilt lives there?
Because guilt shows up when you've made a mistake. Who's determining your boundaries or what you're setting for yourself is a mistake?
Partially, right? But guilt is also when you go against like your own moral code, right? So if part of your moral code is family and the family system.
Let me see.
And you kind of quote unquote go against it, I feel like guilt can live there.
Give me a minute. Yes. I just wanted to make sure that because I can flip the, like, so I can understand shame and guilt. In the guilt, I did something bad, shame, I am bad.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to the acting opposite, I can sometimes flip them. So I wanted to make sure. We want to be accurate for you guys.
Yes.
We want to be accurate.
We want to give you accurate information.
So yes, it can go against your moral code. Absolutely. I would, how do I want to say this? I would like you to reflect when you are determining whether or not you are going against your moral code, if you are correctly applying the moral code to the situation. Because sometimes situations show up that are unexpected, that are like, nobody fucking knew this was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And so just because you have a moral code of I want to help my family or I want to be there for my family, doesn't mean that that strictly applies to this situation.
To because every single fucking situation.
Yeah, this is uncharted territory, right?
Yes.
This could be uncharted fucking territory.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And here's the other caveat to that is family can be very good at, quote unquote, good at creating those guilt and shameful feelings when it comes to being there to support them, right? There are situations where I will 100% support a family member. And there are situations where I will 100% not. And that's a boundary that I have, and that's okay.
Yep.
Because I'm protecting myself or my child, and I will stand by that for forever. And I will not be made to feel guilty for my decision. There's a lot of different experiences that have happened with family in particular, where I gave and gave and gave and gave and gave. And I was the helper, and I was the one who was always there. And all I was doing was literally depleting myself of everything and anything I had, because I wanted to be that person for everybody. And that is not to say that I will not be there for people. I absolutely will, but I have my limits, and that's okay. I'm not meant to be everything for everybody around me, whether it be in my job or my family or my friends. I can't. It's not physically possible. And that is something, as a perfectionist, recovering perfectionist, whatever you want to say, was very hard for me, because it was an all or nothing. I'm either there for everybody or I'm there for nobody. And you can't live like that. It is okay to say no for the sake of you.
So healthy and okay to say no for the sake of you. The most
get it together out there.
I know. What are you doing? Put your fucking dish down more quiet. I went out when
set it down nicely, please.
What are you, just tossing it in the sink? No, I went out there and he made tacos, and I was like, "Oh, you didn't make me anything?" He was like, "I made breakfast tacos." I was like, "I can see that and smell that." I'm over here starving. I'm working. I'm a working girl. My fucking nose is running.
Same, because I'm freezing.
It's cold in my house, but I'm not turning the heat up.
Not either.
I think I'm killing my monstera.
Oh no.
I'm seeing some brown spots on
that
the
could
leaves.
Be a sunlight or a water thing. So you have to
I think it's a water thing. I think I filled it too much because I put it in. I saw a thing on TikTok. And they put their monstera in the shower and they just kind of let it rain a little bit to like simulate outside. So I did that, but I think I filled it too much with water and it's been damp for about a week and a half. So I feel, oh my God, 2 weeks. So now I kind of feel like I need to take it out of the pot and put new soil in.
Oh, I don't know. I don't do all of that.
I think I need to, because I wanted to give it food because it's due for, well, I haven't given it food at all, but I want to give it food, but wow, this took a turn. Anyways.
I mean, I can edit it out. It's fine.
I don't think that we should because I feel like the point was made.
Yeah.
I feel like the question was answered. How do we feel? So, I mean, to really bring it back around. So how do you feel? How do you stop feeling guilty for saying no? Go to the cognitive errors episode. Listen to that. Give me facts that prove that your negative thought, I should be there for my family all the time, is true.
Or that I'm impossible. A bad XYZ.
Yeah, I'm a bad daughter because XYZ. I'm a bad employee because XYZ. Yeah. Challenge those thoughts. Give me facts that prove that it's true. Mm-hmm. Facts. Keyword facts.
Not your feelings.
No, because that in and of itself is a cognitive error. Mm-hmm. Feelings are not facts. Also, black and white thinking. Everything is on a spectrum. There is no absolute on things. So, I feel like that answers.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You can find us at rewritingherstorypodcast@gmail.com. You can find us at Rewriting Her Story Podcast on YouTube and Instagram. Steph is at SpookyFitMom13 and I am at BEA_XO11, both on Instagram. We love you all. You are enough. Happy holidays.
I was literally just going to say that.
We should have said it at the same time. Twinsies. You owe me a Coke. Diet Coke. So, questions, concerns, comments, please reach out to us. We would love, love, love to hear from you guys. Basically all of November and maybe December, or December's podcasts, because we're in November. All of December's podcasts are basically suggestions or questions or things that people wanted answered or asked. So please keep them coming because we love that. We love being able to
provide for you guys.
Yeah, provide and also put out content that people want to hear. Like, I mean, I could listen to myself talk with Stephanie for hours, but like, I don't really necessarily think that that's what everyone's cup of tea is. Case in point, we just started talking about my monstera plant. What? You guys are like, I didn't fucking sign up for that. So
I didn't sign up for botany with Steph and Mari.
Yes, fix your damn hair.
I saw it.
I was like, what is that? What's happening? It was like, yeah, I don't even know what's happening too. It looks like I've got like shag layered hair. Like, what the fuck is this? Anyways, whatever. We love you guys. Happy holidays. And we will see you, or you'll hear us in 2022. What? Oh.
We might have one more before 2022.
I think that we probably do. But anyways.
Yes.
So we love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.